We engage in psychological warfare to sell you a car, or a house, or a date. Also, we find out Reefer Madness is still fake and ask, where are all the love songs about dicks? All that and more on this week's episode of... We haven't done one of these in a while. So I thought I'd do something in post.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Welcome, one and all, to another week of Another Wasted Hour. We are so glad to have you here. It's raining outside. It was hot before. Now it's as humid as it could possibly get because that's what rain is. And instead of having to go out in that rain, you can sit here and listen to us and replace the next hour of your life with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, fresh from the laundromat, we have Unsullied. Jory, say hello.
Hey, how's it going?
And we have Henry.
Hey, how you doing?
Henry's doing better at talking into the mic than you are, Jory.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He is,
Bring it in,
he's
man.
owning the microphone
Bring it
on
in a
you.
little bit.
Yeah, you can
burns
move
in
it
early.
wherever you want. Just put it up in that pretty face of yours. Gentlemen, welcome. How was the rainy trip? Where'd you come from?
I was coming from Manassas.
Manassas, all right, excellent. And
Oh no, go ahead.
yeah, did you have any pools of water you had to go through, or
Many.
many? All right,
You know Manassas. And their
It wasn't-
pools of water.
yeah, you need a duck boat, but one that doesn't kill people. Did you hear about that?
Oh,
No,
Did
I
you
didn't
hear?
hear about this one.
Oh yeah, a duck boat like went under and killed a bunch of
Yeah.
people.
in like Mississippi or something.
Yeah, it was some Missouri or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it was.
See, I knew it. You
sad.
can never trust those things. Are you a boat? Are you a bus? Make up your damn mind. How can
Yeah.
I trust you?
No, I will never be on a duck boat. Are you kidding me? Do one thing well. That's all I'm asking. All right? You don't need to stretch. All right? This isn't a decathlon of tourism. You just have to do one thing. All right? Just be an open top bus. That's fine. No problem. You're not going out in the rain, but that's fine. You're doing a very good job of a double decker top off bus. But if you then combine that and now you're a boat and you're a Segway and you're just six other things,
It's too many.
death. That's what happens.
People die.
Yeah. I'm guessing that they got the duck boat used. That's my guess. And they just didn't check. They were like, is there any engine problems? Or like, no, it's fine. Check engine lights are good. We're good. Has there been any crashes or anything? No, it's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, no, I really like this. How's the interior? Oh, we just redid the interior. Real happy with it. Excellent. Yeah. Any transmission issues? No, drives like a dream. They forgot to ask, are there any holes in this boat? And if you don't ask, they won't tell you. Like, buying a used car is like psychological warfare, right? Because it's basically other people trying to keep secrets. It's like espionage, right? They're like, look at this perfectly good car that has no problems that I just happen to be getting rid of. Wait, why are you getting rid of it? Too many cars. Right? Like, the reason you're getting rid of it is because like the wheel fell off and now you've glued the wheel back on and you're like, oh, look, it drives like a dream. And you're like, oh, you mind if I take it over a dress drive? You can't. There's no license plate. So, sorry. Then I'll trust you. It must be in great condition. Like, that's funny. Why is it all recently painted with house paint? Is there a problem with rust or anything? No, just seemed like a really stunning color.
Define a problem with rust, because I think it's handling that rust great.
Right.
Compliments the paint.
It's oxidization. That's good, right? There's oxygen. It's
All
oxidizing.
natural.
Oxygen's
All
super
natural.
great. Yeah.
Having just bought the house, had to go through the same thing where we had to go through all the, everyone's like, oh, the house was recently renovated, everything,
Yeah.
great flippers, everything's awesome. And then you get the inspection. Well, the roof's failed. This is broken.
Yeah.
That's missing. Oh, it's always been like, no, it hasn't.
No. Well, that's the thing is like you just spin it, right? Because you're like, yeah, we just replaced all of the carpeting, right? You don't say, cause it flooded. Right? Like, you leave that part off, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you're welcome out of the goodness of our hearts. We have done work on a car we don't even want anymore. Replace the mass air filter with all these things. And you're like, oh, that sounds great. But why? Just in case you wanted it. Like, well, thanks.
I sold a car to a friend of mine's brother.
Yeah.
And the doors wouldn't even open sometimes, and I'd have to climb through the window. And when you drive, like the whole car, the horn would start going off and the lights would flash, and I was just like, the engine's great, and like, drives really well.
No,
but
it drives great.
every electrical component in the entire car was just completely shot.
It drives so well, you get places faster because people get out of your way.
You're honking at everyone. So yeah.
Has a great alarm system while you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Have you ever bought a used car? Have you?
Yeah, I purchased a new car or a new used car. Was it about 8 months ago, maybe?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a hassle. Those
Did
guys
you
are
did you
crazy.
get home and have that aha moment where you bought the car and you knew something, right? Like,
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, there's this little crack in the windshield, and that's why we're giving you $4,000 off, and you're like, seems like a deal. And then you get home, right? And at some point in time, like you're driving along and you're like, oh, this is great. I love this new. And then the steering wheel comes off in your hand and you're like, now I know.
Well, actually, no, if you're on
Yeah,
95
that
and the
was
steering
new.
wheel comes off, it's less and more
Yeah, that was this car for me. The tires pretty much went right away.
Just popped.
Yeah, I mean they pretty much all were. They all busted.
They just taped them.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it. And it's weird because we live in a society where that's like cool. Like you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to.
Well,
to
they want you to get in and get out. Spend
Yeah.
the money, and after you leave,
It's like,
you're not their problem.
like I feel if you had said like, how shitty are these tires? They might have been like, oh, they probably need to be
You
replaced.
got us.
But if you didn't like nail them down on that and you just said like, tell me all the bad things, they'd be like, we're pretty happy with it. It's like, imagine if you think about it, it's kind of the same with relationships though, right? Like when
Well,
right? If you meet a person, right? Like, for me, it happens to be a woman, but I'm not going to judge you guys. Whatever you like to meet, right? You meet this person and you're like, and they've put their best foot forward. They're like at the bar or they're at whatever place. They put on a nice dress, guy or girl. I'm not judging, right? They've done things like, they've done up their hair. They've showered. They've done things maybe they don't normally do. And you're like, oh, and they're like on their best behavior because I'm going to make a good impression, right? So I'm not going to talk a lot about like the Nazi meetings I go to, right?
swastika tattoo.
Yeah. And so then you're like, this is really going well. Like we both like sushi. We hate Jewish people, which isn't a thing. And
Hot weather.
yeah. And so yeah, you go like, this is going well. And so you're like, yeah, we should totally be in a relationship. And then they're like, oh, P.S. I fart all the time.
Yeah, then all the baggage comes out. And,
And you're like, oh, but then you've already bought, right? At that point, you're already in. You've signed the contract. You're like,
too
should I back out now? No. I mean, it's just farts. It's fine, right? All people fart. I mean, that's a lot. I didn't know you could do it continuously, but
that's just the beginning.
yeah, right. And then it's, and then it just everything else goes wrong, right? Like all of my insides bleed. You're like, oh God, that is coming out everywhere. How do you go through sheets? My God. But yeah, I mean, I guess everything is like that. When we think of any relationship with a thing or a person, we kind of like gloss over everything that's bad unless you specifically. Although I guess if you were to ask someone, same thing, right? If you said, hey, are the tires really bad on this car? Then you'd be like, oh, no, well, yeah, I probably need it. And if you were like, do you go to Nazi rallies? They'd be like, yeah, do you?
Do you fart at Nazi rallies?
Yeah. Do you fart on Nazis continuously? I might go with that person. That sounds
That
like
might
a
not be
match.
too bad, yeah.
Sometimes I just go to Nazi parties and fart
Just fart
continuously.
everywhere.
Swipe right on that one.
Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds good. Right on the burning cross. Like a flamethrower.
Oh yeah,
I think we've crossed over.
it's getting weird.
Yeah. So once again in studio we have Unsullied. We got Jory and Henry. You guys are here because you've got a big show coming up. First of all, you guys, did you win the Jammin Java Battle of the Bands? Is that what?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. Jammin Java,
Thank you.
a pretty well-known venue here in the Northern Virginia area, and they've got a battle of the bands they do each year. A bunch of people get in on that, and you guys won. And part of that, you get to do a headlining gig at Union Stage, another just huge venue that just opened up down in DC at the Wharf area.
Yeah.
And so Sunday, August 5th, you guys are going to be down there with a couple of friends of ours, Better Homes, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Who's
that's right.
been on the show.
Yeah.
And they're going to be playing with you guys. They're fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're
You'll
great.
have a blast. And then you will just melt faces right
the
after
plan.
them. Yeah. And if you guys want to hear what that sounds like, the melting of faces, you brought a track to us called Legacy. If you want to hear that track right now, go to the 1 hour mark of this show, fast forward, listen to it, come back, and then put your headphones back over your melted face and listen to the rest of our show. Otherwise, we'll play a little snippet of that later in the show if you want to hang out with us the whole way through. If you want to find out more about Unsullied and shows coming up and other songs that they have, go to their Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/unsulliedband. And they'll have all of their tour details and everything up there, I would assume, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's where you publish all of your insider information.
Put all of our stuff on Facebook, Instagram. It's all Unsullied Band at Unsullied Band. So
Fantastic.
keep
So
it pretty simple.
go connect up with them. Are you guys ready now that we know that you know how to play music in a very aggressive way? We know where you're going to be playing. We know that you know how to do mass media, like social media. Do you guys feel like you'd like to maybe take a soiree into launching a publication?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're gonna. If you had said
Let's
no,
do
this was
this.
gonna be a long show. Like, cool. Let's talk about popcorn. Like, so. What we're going to do then is the weather report. Here we're going to actually make you the editor-in-chief of a brand new publication that we're launching. We are your loyal reporters. We're going to pitch you some stories that we think should make it into the publication, and you let us know if we're fired or not, or whether or not they make it into your publication. Remember, at the end of this, we're going to need a name so we can sell this and steal your ideas. So, without further ado, let's get us started, Adam.
Alrighty. Oklahoma Medical Board lawyer Julia Ezell, I guess that's how you pronounce that, charged with sending threats to herself.
Ooh.
Yes, apparently
When you're lonely.
apparently she is somewhat a controversial figure in the area for her tough stance on medical marijuana laws and recreational laws. And to help try to shore up her position, she created a fake email account and then started sending threatening notes to herself.
Man.
It's like things like we would hate to hurt a pretty lady. You will hear us. We are just beginning.
If you keep doing this, I will wear your skin, which is technically true. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
That's legit.
So she reported this to authorities, who then turned around and said, "This is your email account," and things has kind of gone downhill from
She
there.
didn't make a new email?
No, she
said-
did. I'm making
they knew.
it much simpler than it really is, but
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it's not that hard to track down the internet. That's
Yeah, maybe
basically a
not.
bunch of paths to your computer.
Was it like her first name dot last name?
it's like a modern day version of what was it? What was that movie? Oh crap! I just had it. The old movie that's supposed to be all about how weed makes you violent and kill your family.
Oh, yeah.
Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness. Thank you. It's basically a modern day Reefer Madness scandal.
Yeah.
They were able to figure it out because the email address was not Julia Ezell at juliaezell.com.
Because anyone who thinks that like potheads send threatening emails don't know potheads.
Yeah, right?
Most potheads can't even get off the couch. All you have to do is give them a bag of Doritos and a season of Adventure Time. You're not going to hear from them
set.
for weeks.
Not to mention, they're not going to string together an entire paragraph, right? Because they're going to be like, hey, I saw you on the news. I'm super mad about Superman. Superman's awesome, right? Because there's like, he can fly. What was I saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's like a high threat.
Pretty much.
If you continue this, I will not vote for you. Granted, it's because I don't vote because I'm lazy. So
Because I don't believe in it, man.
all right. So is it news? You had time. This is you can think about this during the actual.
I'm gonna say no.
No.
No
Okay.
way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
It's pretty like sad, but I don't know if it's
No one should ever hear her name.
Yeah. No.
I think you should know
We'll
that a
cover that
medical
one.
board lawyer doesn't know that email can be traced back to her. Like that.
Maybe that's the headline.
That seems like a basic thing, right? Like, because she probably did it from her computer, right? She was like, I don't like you. Send, and then opened it on her computer and was like, you're rude.
I'm imagining her wearing like a beanie and like dark sunglasses and going to the library and
Yeah.
using their
That would have been awesome if she had gone that far. All right. Well, that didn't make it in. So I'm going to give this a shot. You guys have said you've caught a couple of episodes before, so you might have caught this theme. Obviously, Engineer Adam has his Florida man stories that he does. I tend to bring things that the police are warning people not to do. We've had things such as eating Tide Pods, trying to roast marshmallows over volcanoes, things like that. In this week's episode, police warn against jumping out of moving cars in order to dance. Yeah.
Wait, so ghost riding the whip is a thing again?
Yeah.
it's back.
Yeah. So, online personality Shig started what is now called the My Feelings Challenge. To catch you up, in today's world, challenge means stupid act, and online personality means people only millennials have heard of. Although, in an ironic twist, this challenge, which only required people to dance to a song called My Feelings by Drake, apparently wasn't dangerous enough. So people started jumping out of moving cars to do it. It's not even part of the challenge. And they were like, I'm going to up this up into something that could kill me. This is the world we live in. Like,
But we already lived in this world. When I was like a freshman in college and a bunch of us went down to Atlanta for a 13-hour metal festival, we were stuck in horrible traffic, and the driver of my car just randomly told me, hey, put your hand on the emergency brake, cranked the radio, jumped out of the car, and just started ghost riding the whip down like a 65-mile-per-hour road because the traffic was that slow. This was like a decade ago. So we've already been living in this world, Keith.
Yeah. Yeah, but you just didn't post it on the internet and brag about it.
No, it was a little. We were still using like the little hand cams to record everything. We didn't have like smartphones just yet. I still had a razor.
Nice. A razor.
Those things were indestructible.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they made razors now, right? But just with new batteries, it would last for like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Right?
I know.
Like, because that thing lasted for like a day, right? And now we have like smartphones that are like that basically have more computing power than NASA had to get to the moon, right? So imagine just taking that battery and shoving it into a razor. It would last until your 21st birthday without a charge.
You could text and make phone calls for like a couple days
until you
straight.
retire. And so
one charge and that's it.
all right, so not a good idea, but is it news?
No.
No.
What do you think?
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a split
All right.
decision.
I mean, we have to go outside now and
Yeah. We have to,
Right, and dance
we'll
next
be
to your
back.
car.
Yeah.
Dance off, the only way
All
we
right.
can solve this.
I'll bend the knee. That's news.
We're going in.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. All right, your turn, Adam. See if you can catch up.
Alrighty. Google Translate glitch changes gibberish into prophecy.
Whoa.
How's that different than normal?
So basically, what I took from this is Google has invented a way to make your new power metal album lyrics. But anyways, so the online translation tool is setting conspiracy theorists nuts because people started putting in random words
Yeah,
setting it to translate from random languages
sure.
and getting things like, so for example, someone typed the word dog 18 times
Yeah.
and told it to translate it from Maori. To which Google responded, "Doomsday clock is 3 minutes at 12. We are experiencing characters and dramatic developments in the world which indicate that we are increasingly approaching the end times and Jesus' return."
News.
That wasn't Google Translate. That was somebody who just hacked Google Translate to fuck with that person.
So there's a couple of, like, I think my other favorite one was someone typed in Donald Trump with a bunch of weird spacings in between a whole bunch of times. And when translated from Somali, it just said, "Do not do this anymore."
See, this is actually not that different than a thing that like a classmate and I did in high school. Now, keep in mind, as you can tell, that people who are listening may not know this, but you're looking into my eyes and seeing how really old I am. So high school, we had new technologies like spell check. And so
Oh yeah.
we started a what we like to think of as an artistic revolution, except that it never made it past our creative writing class. And that was, we typed gibberish into our Mac 2s, I think it was at the time. And then we spell checked it and just took the first option from the spell check for each thing and made poems. And they were epic.
Art.
It was amazing, right? And
if you did that today, Keith, you could release a pretty awesome indie folk album.
yeah, no, I could absolutely.
Just put an acoustic guitar and way too much plate reverb behind it. You're good to go.
Yeah.
I got an album in like an hour.
I was ahead of my time. I'm just gonna say. I'm just saying that there was missed opportunities because people weren't paying attention to the future, because I was just 16 at the time and they were like, "Oh, that's silly. You're just doing this thing," but it was brilliant. All right.
Ahead of your time for sure.
Now, I know for a fact that was news, but the question is Adam's story news?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is
sure.
so news.
I
tied
mean,
it up, Keith.
one would argue that essentially like everything Nostradamus made was pretty much gibberish. So prophecy and gibberish are pretty close, right? It's like, there is a box in 10-time fold, it will collapse. And you're like, Nazis.
Seems legit.
That's the Third Reich right there.
Sounds like
No.
a stoner trying to write an email threat.
Right, exactly.
She should have used that.
Yeah. Exactly. Have Google Translate threaten her. All right. We're all tied up. We're a little competitive about this. Just
Right.
this headline. Hold on to your butts, people, because this is pretty important. Study finds that cancer patients who use alternative medicines die sooner. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's true. I know. Shocking. The study also determined that cliff diving is more dangerous than normal diving, and that later in life, people who hold lit firecrackers are less likely to clap. All right, those last two I made up. But
I was gonna say
the
what?
first one was a study and seemed a little obvious, but I think we need to let people know that when they just eat garlic to kill cancer,
Might not work.
you might want to go with the surgical option. Just a thought. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it news?
I don't like that one.
Oh.
I don't know.
No,
I don't
no
think
news.
so.
No
No
news. Oh, all right. Well, then we'll just continue with the alternative treatments if you do.
Keep eating garlic.
Right. All right, Adam, you can take the lead here.
All right, so now we are into our rapid fire section. I'm just going to throw some headlines at you. If you have questions, ask them, but we're not going to try to sell it or anything.
Okay.
Nude man exercising at Planet Fitness thought it was a judgment-free zone.
News. I saw that today. That was so funny.
Yeah?
That was the best headline I've seen in a little while.
All right, nicely done. I'm going to one-up you here, Adam.
Uh-oh.
A naked man found doing jumping jacks in restroom of Nashville McDonald's.
No way. Are you
News.
serious?
Yeah.
That's news. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That is awesome.
Yeah, when questioned police, he told police that he thought he was at a Planet Fitness. No, I'm sorry, I misread that. He tried to explain that his clothes were stolen by the Hamburglar.
You're kidding.
I'm sorry. No, he apologized to management, claiming that he thought it was a Jack in a Box. Which it would have been fine, right?
It would have been okay to Jack in the Box.
Yeah, because you're doing jumping jacks in a box.
Right.
So it would have been fine. But yeah, so I saw his one and I had to one up him with that. So news?
I like
News.
Oh yeah.
News? All right. Excellent.
A Dayton man called in a bomb threat so he wouldn't miss his flight. Now he's going to prison.
Did he miss his flight?
No, he apparently, I guess he made the flight. It
But
doesn't
then they
say.
And then they arrested him.
No, apparently he was running late, so he called in a fake bomb threat so that they ended up delaying and then eventually canceling the plane. So then they rescheduled him for a flight that left 2 hours later, and he made that one.
But then he missed his flight,
Backfire.
right? But he didn't want to miss the plane, and then they canceled the plane. That wasn't a really well thought out plan.
The article doesn't say whether or not he actually made on that. And all it says that he now has to pay. I actually found this kind of surprising. He only has to pay about $7,700 in restitution
That's worth
over
it.
the quote
that's not
canceled
bad.
flight.
We should call bomb threats all the time.
That's it.
We should call that lawyer with a bomb threat. They'll blame her, right?
There you go.
It's
would've
like
just
the
had to-
same logic when you're like a little kid and you want to burn your school down because you think you don't have to go.
Right? Yeah. No, absolutely. They'll never make you go after that. No, that's what I would do. Is I would call in and be like, "Hi, is Julia Edsel there? I'm calling in a bong threat." And they're like, "That's not what you're supposed to do. You're high, aren't you?" Oh, it's not a bong threat.
You
Totally.
got me.
I misheard. I'm threatening to do this bong right now. All right. I guess, are we last but not least already?
No, we haven't asked yet. Is that news though?
Oh, is that news? Is it news?
No.
No.
They are tough.
Underwhelming.
This is a tough
That-
crowd.
Yeah, we got
that
a tough
guy.
crowd.
That guy is pretty stupid, and I don't think he should be given the limelight.
Maybe if you had a stupid
news.
section.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe under the ass section.
Like Yahoo has like the bizarre little section in the far corner.
Right,
Or at least
yeah.
they used to. I
Next to
don't know.
Calvin and Hobbes, we'll put in the stupid section.
All right, fair enough. So last but not what's the score? I don't even know at this
I have
point.
2.
I don't know.
It might be tied.
It might be tied, and I might win with this one. Georgia lawmaker Jason Spencer is under fire after dropping his pants and yelling the N-word on the new show Who is America.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I watched that episode last
Yeah,
night.
it was
actually.
hilarious.
Oh my god, that was
Here's what I'm
insane.
I'm really excited about is at some point he's going to have to do a press release, right? And he's going to say, well, it was taken out of context. And I'm going to be like,
Oh.
okay, give me the context that it's okay to drop your pants and yell the N-word.
Oh man.
Like, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead and tell me that particular context because I'd like to hear it just in case I need to yell the N-word with my pants off at some point.
You gotta watch that clip.
Yeah,
That
have you
is-
seen the clip? He like the guy convinces him to like, I guess that ISIS is afraid of homosexuals.
Yeah.
So he pulls his pants down and just backs up to him.
And
He's
he's
like,
like,
"That's how you
"America."
fend them off."
Right. If you touch them with your butt, they're afraid that if they get touched by a butt.
And the whole time he's
They'll become-
muttering United States. He's like, United States of America, America.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, do you not are you not self-aware of what you're doing right now?
Like, I don't even know how you get prepped for that show. Like,
Yes.
are they saying like, hey, this is all just good fun? Like, just feel free to say whatever's on your mind. Don't mind the cameras. Like, I mean, you're a politician.
that-
you know better, right?
That's the thing is like they're in the high rankings of the system of America, and they like do these ridiculous things, and it's like how does this comedian getting these dudes to do this crazy stuff? It's like the funniest thing ever.
Right. Like, I have no idea how that's possible because, like, I'd understand, like, if you were like a politician and they were like, hey, would you do, like a cartwheel? And you're like, yeah, sure. That's not a politician thing to do, but you'd be like,
It's fun,
I'm having
yeah.
fun. Yeah, why not?
But,
right. But as soon as like, hey, yell the N-word, it'd be like, I'm good. I
maybe
think I'm
not.
going to hold off on that. And
Hopefully,
they're like,
it
no,
makes
no.
people think.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but what it'll do
Yeah.
is it's going to it'll get attention and it'll save your life.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like, nah, I'm in that moment, maybe. I don't need to practice that. But I think I'm good. All
Oh,
right.
it's damn hilarious.
And
All right.
hopefully,
That is-
it makes people think. That whole TV show is. If we can't expect them to to deal with Sacha Baron Cohen, how can we expect them to run the government and the country? It's
Right, because if you think about it, those are also people who are supposed to be representative of the best parts of us, right?
And
They're supposed to,
authoritative.
Oh, yeah.
and,
right? They're supposed to. You're gonna be like, that's the guy I can stand behind.
They're
right?
our leaders.
Dropping
Right.
their trousers and mooning
Yeah.
the camera.
Like
Yeah.
I would stand behind that guy, but then he drops your pants. Like I don't want to
Maybe
stand
not,
behind
yeah.
him anymore. His pants are down. And
No, it's actually
And
kind of funny
then
because I was going to say in an earlier life when I was like mainly freelancing as an audio engineer, did a lot of stuff around DC and having to mic up and do stuff for, let's call them important people in
Yeah.
DC.
Right.
And it's amazing how many of them are about a stiff breeze away from needing to be left in sunlight and watered twice a week. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
a minute, I've seen you on the news before. Are you really this dense?
yeah. And then there's people who vote for them that have to be more dense, right? So there are people who this is the thing that's scary is there are people out there in the United States that watched that episode and went, I'm gonna take some notes.
Yeah.
That's important.
This is
ISIS hates butts.
all
I
right.
didn't even know that. So now I'm glad I've got that down in case I get kidnapped by ISIS. And you're like, it's sat. Oh, no, you don't know. You genuinely, okay, awesome. And so, yeah, in the show, he's like, there's one word that you're not supposed to say. It'll get you the most attention. It's the N word.
yeah.
And there literally has to be somebody in the world who watched that and went, we're not supposed to say that? Right? Like,
What?
news to me.
I ain't watching this channel. It's telling me what to do.
I thought this was America.
Yeah, you say whatever you want in America. Okay,
Oh,
you
man.
can. You're a horrible person. That's all. All right. Well, moving on. Did we find out was that news? Did we
That was
determine
news.
News.
Excellent. I don't know who won. I'm gonna say it was me. And so,
Very nice.
how did you feel about your soiree into the publication world?
Felt pretty good.
Good?
A little tough.
10
Well,
out of 10.
Now we
Pretty
need
good.
we need a name for the publication. What do you have for me?
We had a lot of Naked Man references.
Yeah.
It should be the Naked Man
The
Tribune.
The Wiener Tribune.
The Wiener Circle.
Yeah.
All right, excellent, gentlemen. Thank you for doing that. I know that that's outside your comfort zone, but you did really well.
Well,
Saying-
I took journalism in high school, so I felt pretty comfortable.
Cool. I made up poems with spell check in high school, so I figure I'm pretty good at all this as well. Anyhow, now that we've found out what you might do after your music careers, let's get into the music career part of it.
Cool.
So you guys play in a band called Unsullied. How would you describe your music?
Loud.
That's how I describe your music too. We like to be pretty diverse here. We've had hip hop, we've had folk acts, we've all, but to pull back the curtain a little bit, Adam particularly fond of like heavier music, metal,
Sweet.
heavy rock stuff. And so he mixed down the sample we're gonna play in just a little bit, and he was like, "All right."
Awesome.
And so he's very excited. If anybody else listening is excited, if you want to listen to the entire track, just stop here, fast forward to the 1 hour mark. You can listen to it in its entirety. We'll have a little sample here in just a couple minutes, though. So the song that you brought us is called Legacy.
That's right.
Now, when did this come out?
What was it?
Junior high?
May? Yeah. It might have been May, April or May. I don't remember. It might have been April or May.
Back when you had a razor?
Yeah.
That was like 6 months ago, maybe something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May is not 6 months ago.
Yeah, Jory.
Was it? I feel.
No,
like
you know
was
what? It
longer.
might have been earlier than that.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it was May. I might be wrong.
Yeah, clarify.
remember.
He's the dumb one.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's Henry's bad.
Now, just out of sheer curiosity, has this song been played on any other podcasts?
That's
Don't
a
think.
no.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Adam?
You guys are the first.
You're our first.
Yeah.
What does that make
Popping
it?
our cherry.
Makes it a that first time we play a song on the air stinger I haven't made.
Has it gotten radio play?
No.
I don't think
So
so.
we're the world
This is it.
premiere
Yeah.
of
This is
this
it.
track.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
it's
very
exciting.
small victories on this show, and this is one of them. So tell us a little
Thanks.
bit about Legacy. What is it? What inspired this song?
It's rock and roll song about. I don't know.
About whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
About leaving a legacy for
Perhaps.
It was kind
of
of
music?
written sort of vaguely to let people put their own situation into it.
okay.
I believe it was originally written about our singer's family member
Yeah.
was going through a rough time. But yeah, I think we kind of purposely tried to keep it. If you want to make it a love story, you can.
People can read into it and kind of put their own experience. Because when I listened to it, to me, it really resonated, and it was just all about dicks. So
see that?
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think if
That's
you
the
had been
goal.
more specific, I wouldn't have been able to make it all about dicks.
Right.
Right.
So that I was really thankful for that because there's not enough dick songs out there.
Oh, we
No
got
problem. No problem.
Plenty of pussy songs, right? Tit songs, those all over
Yeah,
the place.
you know what?
Not enough dick.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not enough Wang
Not
songs
enough-
out there.
yeah.
I can think
You
of
have
like a few Cannibal Corpse songs, but
right, yeah, but not. I'm gonna task you
dicks
guys
are like forbidden territory
Yeah.
for music.
next
you know?
time.
Uncharted.
Next time you come on the show,
We'll come back with a dick song.
Our next song will
I
be called
promise.
Phallic Mutilation.
whoa! Why does it have to
It's
be
getting
mean
dark.
to the dicks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you want
Why can't it just
We'll
be
be
a,
nice to the
a-
dick.
Yeah, a dick love song or something like. Just hey, look at that dick.
love
All right, we'll remix a
Look at
popular
that
is-
veiny
Beatles song.
triumphant.
Look how turgid it is, right? And so
All you need is
dick.
I need somebody.
Right. All right. So
come together.
There you go.
would you say this is kind of a tune that's indicative of a lot of the sound that you guys have?
Indicative.
Yeah, you like that?
Oh man, it's all over the place.
It
now.
is.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's honestly probably one of our heavier songs.
Okay.
Definitely.
Our influence is kind of all over the place as far as anywhere from jazz, blues, death metal.
Yeah, but like all face
Yeah.
melting blues and jazz, right? None of that pussy jazz.
Yeah,
right?
elevators sometime, you know. What do they call it?
What?
Muzak.
Muzak? All right. So before you guys break into the Girl from Ipanema, what I want to do is play a little sample from your track Legacy. All right.
Awesome.
So this is from the band Unsullied. No, I definitely hear the jazz in there. There's totally,
It's
yeah.
a little groovy. It's a
Yeah, no, that's
You have to
absolutely.
wait there. Miles Davis does a little guest spot. In
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure. Just you just stand up his dead body and you just animate it while he plays trumpet.
Yeah, we got his hologram. That's the new thing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
but
what's going on.
be way more metal if you had his corpse though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a hologram of his corpse.
Oh, nice.
So it's like metal and with the times. a little
yeah, no, it's trendy and,
And-
horrifying. I like it, guys. I mean that that harkens
Thank you.
back to some of my back when I was in high school. We had kind of the grunge movement, and
Oh, yeah.
we were saying there's a little bit of that like Soundgarden Audio Slave thing in there. There's a
Yeah.
bit of that sound in there.
That's actually not the first time we've gotten that
Yeah.
too. The guy that we recorded it with actually said that.
Yeah, I mean it's not a
And,
dead on. It's not like you're copying them or anything, but there's definitely like a shadow of that, right?
Yeah, once it was mentioned, I kind of heard
yeah.
a bit of that.
There's a kind of the syncopation and like the changes in the beats and stuff, and then obviously the vocals have just the higher register
Oh, yeah.
that you're used to hearing.
That's Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's crazy.
Yeah. Why isn't he here? Kyle, what's going on?
Yeah,
he was
he-
supposed to be here, but
Damn it, Kyle!
I texted you. His work.
N-word with my pants down.
Yeah.
Is that appropriate?
He's a
Exactly.
singer, so he's probably busy combing his hair and making himself look real pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's really good at that.
Yeah.
He lives with me.
He's just quaffing at home.
Love you, Kyle.
Work called him in last minute, and they.
Sure it was.
I'm sitting in for him.
What it was is he was like, guys, I can't go. I've just been struck by a moment of brilliance. I'm writing a dick song.
Hopefully,
Yes.
if only he could be that productive.
Well, if you
Just
want
kidding, Kyle. We love you.
So if you're listening in your car right now and you want to smash your head to into your steering wheel to the entire song, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show, and then you can come back and join us here because we are going to take a couple of guys who play in a very awesome head-banging angry band, and embarrass them and make them feel stupid as
Let's
if
go.
they are politicians who are with their pants
Waving
down.
their ass.
Yeah, waving their ass. So, gentlemen, are you prepared? This is, please God, just get one right.
Oh yeah.
This is your moment to shine.
I think we'll get one right.
Did you?
I believe.
Did you listen to last year's or last week's episode?
I didn't. I don't think.
You didn't,
I listened to the kazoo one on the way over here.
So we've had a few in a row. Our last show, we had Jet Bailey on, and he had to answer questions about Care Bears.
Ooh.
That didn't go terribly well.
What?
So yeah, Dan Wolf gave that to him.
I
Dan
guess
Wolf,
his carrying meter was just dangerously low that
Yeah.
day.
kind of a bastard. But anyhow, so if you would like to get in touch with Jet Bailey because of the category that he picked for you, he is going to be down at the Milk Boy Art House in College Park on Thursday, August 2nd. So feel free to maybe stop in the show and say, hey, thanks for giving us the category of pandas.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, pandas. That's it. You feel good about this.
I like pandas.
You like
They're
pandas?
friendly animals, I think.
All right,
I
so
think.
Excellent. We had one from we're gonna do 7 questions. Usually we do 6, so we've each picked 3, right? I think you've got 3 original ones, right? And then Jet Bailey, I think, actually had one as well for you that
wow.
he added to the mix.
He was ready.
So you're gonna have a little more opportunity. You have one extra bonus question to try and get right
Good.
than most other people. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick things off here. Again, if you get one right, that's the Super Bowl. We're gonna give you a gift out of our joy bag, and so our happy sack. Just you put your hand in there and grab something, and do some jumping jacks. So, so question is, how much does China charge the Smithsonian Zoo in DC to rent a giant panda per year? So, the giant panda that's in the DC Zoo isn't owned.
We're
by
leasing
the-
it?
Yeah, we're leasing it. Right? We have to return it with
I
like
wonder
only
if they did the used Carmen sale
Yeah.
thing. You
Is
know?
there any rust in this panda? Oh, just the inside.
They lift up under the claws.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This is a koala.
This is a.
It's in a panda suit.
This panda's on performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, you can only drive it so many miles per year. I think there's a lot of tricks with it. But yeah, how much does the Smithsonian have to pay China to have a panda?
U.S. dollars?
Yes, U.S. dollars.
Okay,
Correct.
That's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Rather than what yuan? Is that what do they do?
Yen?
Yen, I thought is
Yen?
Japanese.
That's
right?
Japanese, yeah.
That's Japanese.
14,000.
I think it's like yuan or something like that. All right.
Do we get one answer?
I'll give you 2
collectively?
answers if you
All
want to
right.
try and split it up and see if you can get it better.
So do we have to hit it on the dot?
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty
yeah.
close?
I
Okay.
mean, if you're off by $1 or something, I'm not going to.
I'm going to go with per year.
Per year, yes. The annual. How much would you have to pay to rent a giant panda per year?
$2 million.
Good guess. Do you have something before I reveal? Do you want to go with
800,000.
800,000. You were closer.
Damn.
Actually, only $500,000 a
Really?
year. Yeah,
That's
half a
not
million.
bad.
So if you ever make
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
lease
money,
one.
you maybe rent a panda.
This is good news.
Yeah. No,
I
there's-
want a new one, though. I don't want a used one.
right. You don't want one all Smithsonian up. Ugh. All right, Adam, what do you got for him?
All right. Hundreds of years ago, warring groups within China would raise a flag during battle with a picture of a panda on it to signal what action?
I'm gonna guess eating Chinese food.
Panda Express?
Yeah,
What is
there's
Panda Express?
food nearby. That's my guess.
Um,
You may not want to go with my guess because I know what the answer is.
so their soldiers would raise a flag with a panda on it?
Yeah, so you're an ancient Chinese soldier. You're
Okay.
fighting it out with that guy from across the river, and all of a sudden you look up and you see that your general has raised a flag with a panda on it.
With
What
an
do you
actual
do?
panda on it, just hanging off the pole.
I'm going to kill you. No. You know what? I think it's surrender.
Interesting.
What
do you think?
Time to go to sleep.
Time to go to sleep. All right.
I associate pandas to that sneezing video.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys just want to cuddle?
Yeah. The mom's sleeping.
Jory was remarkably close. It was to signal the end of the battle and or to call a truce.
Damn.
That's kind of a surrender. That's kind of
We were
close.
both kind of close.
And it's kind of like sleeping.
Yeah.
But it's not quite a surrender, right? Because a truce would not be a surrender.
No, it's a mutual.
Oh, yeah. You were close. You were close. But no cigar that time. All right. 2 out of the hopper already. You don't have one yet. You've got 4 more to go. Species are categorized by the International Union Conservation of Natural Red List according to their extinction risk. All right. Did you get that so far? Species are categorized by the International Union Conservation of Nature Red List according to their extinction risk.
Okay.
All right. What is the current rating for the giant panda? So what is their current risk of extinction?
So is it like out of colors, like red, yellow, green?
It is
or
not.
is it-
no
Or numbers or
No, it is
Just
words.
like
words.
words.
Mhm.
Huh. I know they recovered a little bit
Mhm.
because they were pretty endangered. But
See, endangered would be one. You've heard that before.
Yeah.
Right? Endangered is on that list. Are they endangered?
I'm going to say not threatened.
Not threatened.
ooh,
Okay.
that's good.
All right.
Yeah.
You going with not threatened?
At risk of endangerment,
At risk.
if that's a thing.
See,
I don't
you
know.
should have studied.
Yeah.
You didn't know
I
what
guess
to
so.
study, but
I
you
guess
should
so.
have.
Yeah.
Neither of you are right. Vulnerable.
Damn.
That is high risk of endangerment in the wild.
Hey, just like us.
Yeah, just like you guys. If we put you in the wild, you'd be at high risk.
Vulnerable.
All right, Adam.
Panda researchers have recorded 11 different panda calls. How many are only used to look for a mate?
2. One is an actual call. The other one is it calling itself. Like that lawyer.
I'm gonna go with.
Hello, is Panda there?
I'm going with 4.
I'm going to
You're
go
gonna
4 too. Yeah, I was going to say 4.
Why would you
Whoa,
both go
yeah.
the same thing?
Okay.
Give us
You
a
get 2
chance here.
guesses if you do the
Here, you
same thing.
All right, his is 4. Mine's all 11. Or they just try to mate. That's it.
That's all they do.
They're just trying to get busy.
Well,
Don't care about.
well, you shouldn't have let Keith intimidate you because 4 is the correct answer.
Hey, look at that, man.
Proving that
Nicely
pandas are
done.
about
Where's the
as good at
sack?
starting
I
a
wanna-
Tinder
we
conversation
gotta
as most human males.
Yes. That is the so they have 4 different types of swipe right. Hey, would you like some bamboo? I don't know
Hey,
how do you hit on a panda, do you think?
Hey, yo, girl. Got some bamboo.
I got.
What big pseudo
got-
eyes you have?
Hey. Hey, respond. Hey, I sent you a dick pic. You better respond.
All right, great. So this is all gravy, guys. You've gotten one right. We already
Success.
know that. Yes, it has been successful so far. All right, so the red panda is not closely related to the giant panda. It is not even a bear. A genetic analysis has placed the red panda into its own family, but it was previously placed in many other families, including the bear family. Can you name one other family in which the red bear cat was placed? This red bear cat, and it's not cat. There are 3. I need you to name one.
I feel like I've read this somewhere. Maybe.
What other types of animals was it part of? Did they think?
Was it a marsupial at one time?
Oh, I was gonna guess that.
Good. It's more specific than that. More specific.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not a bear. It's
They
a.
thought it was a bear. It was in that family at one point, but it also was in these other 3 families at one point.
A wolf.
One's super easy, but you're gonna go with a wolf. That'd be a good guess.
I'll say like a dog.
Dog, also a good guess.
Yeah.
Neither of those are true. This is the easy one, I think. Have you seen a red panda?
I don't
Yeah,
think
they're,
so.
they're kind of cute, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah, they're
cute.
tiny. They're much smaller than normal pandas.
What do they kind of look like? Like if you had to guess.
I don't know, like a little puppy or something.
A raccoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
They look
Yeah.
like raccoons, don't they?
Okay.
They're like big raccoons,
Kinda
big
thought
red
of that.
raccoons. Also, weasel and skunk apparently
Okay.
are other
Really?
families they thought they might have been a part of.
Interesting.
All right, last but not least, see if you can get 2.
All right. It takes a female panda cub 5 years to mature into an adult. How long does a male cub take?
40 years.
10.
Same as humans.
7.
All right, mine's 10. Jory's is 7.
Jory's really good at guessing numbers because the answer is 7.
Yeah, nice. Got 2
All right.
of them. We don't have a special effect for clapping. So we just have to do it ourselves. It sounds pathetic.
Jory has
nicely
won a
done.
job as my new tax consultant because he's really good at guessing numbers.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's well versed in pandas.
How much money did you make this year?
7.
0.
Probably like
So here's your bonus question. This was actually given to us by Jet Bailey. What is the name of the rap artist who released the song Panda in 2015?
Oh my god, I know this. Designer.
That's it. Yeah, with
Hey, I got one right.
I think with 2
you're
eyes.
out of the band.
Yeah, it
dude.
is. It is.
All righty.
All right.
Panda.
Finally
Keith,
got
allow
one.
them to reach into Uncle Archie's
Hey, we got-
sack of fun.
Yes, here we go.
Oh, there's a real sack.
It's a real sex. It's
the
best gift ever.
Oh, sweet.
That's the thing that you select is the best gift ever. But there's a second gift, which is just being able to put your hand in my sack. So
Go ahead, Jory.
it is not wrapped, so you'll have to close your eyes and select a gift out of there. So reach on in there
Cat in the Hat.
and select one. All right, what did you
Hey.
get?
Star Wars, First Order,
It's a jumbo eraser.
Jumbo Eraser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll need that after you write a song about dicks because you'll want to get rid of it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
congratulations.
Thank
So
you, Keith.
last but not least, the most important thing of the entire show. Now that you have seen success and you can now flaunt it in front of all of our other guests, that you got 2 right, not just 1. You
got
doubled
3 right.
up.
They
You
got
got
3
3 right.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, technically.
yeah, there was a bonus.
But
got
at
the
least
bonus.
2, maybe 3 right. Do you really want to share that glee with anybody else, or would you rather try and just shove your competition down and give them a category?
Oh, let's shove them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that there's no way they'll be able to actually
Oh, yeah.
account for. So
I think
what is the category for our next guest?
that's all you, Jory. I know you got one. I know you do. You sick.
What is it? What do you got?
Can it be as stupid as like
Probably.
list of suppliers for like a like a printer part or something?
Maybe something a little bigger than that. Yeah, that might just be one question. I think you've just
Because then
said
I don't
one.
want to
there's-
hurt you
there's
trying
7.
to research those questions.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Remember, we have to do this.
Oh, yeah.
We have to actually find the questions, and then we are the ones that invite you back on the show. So it's a thing to keep in mind while you select the category.
So it was the other guy just said panda?
Yeah. Just pandas.
Pandas?
Like if you wanted to go printers, that's fine. Right? That's a big enough category. I can come up with 6 things for printers.
Doo-wop music.
Doo-wop music. All
All
right.
right, there you go.
All right,
That's
doo-wop
pretty good.
music it is. I am no doubt that they will enjoy that quite a bit. And you guys can listen next week and see how well our next guest did
Oh,
on
definitely.
doo-wop music. All right, well, thank you very much for participating in that. You guys did excellent.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go away from the trivia and maybe go into a little bit of storytelling as we get to the end of our show here. This is a section called Near and Far. Just like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
That's
about.
what it's all about.
I understand.
You understand. So we need 2 stories from you, one that's near and one that's far. Do you want to start with a near story or a far story? Do you have an idea?
You want to do the far one or the near one? You know the far one better because I wasn't there yet.
So,
You know what I mean?
well, we'll start off with the near,
Okay.
right? You both know that one. I hear that you have a story about an owl.
There was an owl involved, and
There was-
Jory was almost decapitated by an owl.
Oh my God.
So
They are part of the raccoon family. I don't know if you know that.
so like
I thought they were a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they're dog raccoons.
Cat in the Hat.
What kind of dog is this?
So what happened? You were almost decapitated by an owl. What did you do to this owl?
He was
I was
looking at it.
checking it out.
Yeah.
No, so I
Hey,
moved
Al.
into
He's
this
eyeing
place in Manassas about a year and a half ago, and I've been hearing tons and tons of owls,
Okay.
and I hadn't really, seen anything. I wasn't really looking, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden one day I saw it, and it's like the size of a large house cat just sitting in the tree.
Who?
Exactly. And so I've been seeing it for a couple weeks, and we like walked out of the house one day and we're like, it'd be cool if the owl was here, and we heard
Yeah.
it, and we heard it right there, like within 20 feet. So we went around the corner and we were looking at the owl, and it just swooped down at us, and it came within a foot and a half maybe.
Really? It
Yeah.
buzzed you.
Yeah, we looked
And
right in its
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
crazy yellow eyes, it was,
Negative owl.
And
The
they don't-
pattern is full.
They don't
Exactly.
make any noise when they fly. It's completely silent. And it was
What?
like- I jumped out of the way. Like I was like, oh,
How's that possible? How do you have a stealth owl in your
yeah,
yard?
they're
They all
awesome.
fly, yeah.
Yeah, it's I saw a cool video on it actually on
Really?
Facebook. They set up all these like a huge array of microphones and
Yeah.
everything, and they had a bunch of birds fly, and you hear the
Yeah.
on all of them.
Sure.
That was pretty good.
yeah, that's actually yeah.
No, that's good.
So
That made me scared.
yeah, I know, right? Even though the hawk makes a noise, but the owl, for whatever reason, the way
Silent.
that its wings are or the feathers are,
Yeah.
it doesn't make a noise. It's
What?
Silent.
perfectly silent. And
That's
I never knew
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
And then ever since I saw the that video and I seen the owls, now I notice it every time they fly and they don't make a noise. And it's really freaky to think about because your head will be off before you even know what's happening.
They have talons, man. Those things
It's pretty
are
metal.
Yeah. You never even hear them coming. They're just,
Oh no.
Yeah.
God, they're murderers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Silent murderers.
yeah. Are you thinking of moving? Have you thought about
No, they're cool.
Okay.
I think we talked about it.
Yeah, he talked with the owl and it's cool now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
You're buddies now. You swiped
Yeah.
right on the owl.
Yeah. Well, I started calling in death threats.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I wouldn't do naked jumping jacks outside.
Yeah,
Just,
maybe not.
just in
Maybe
case.
not.
It's like, oh, that
Yeah.
looks like a marmot.
Unfortunately, they're not so quiet
Dinner.
when they're up in the tree because there's one out back at my parents' house that literally sounds like a 1930s scream queen from Hollywood.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
This
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are-
those are the
ear-piercing
screech
shriek.
owls.
They
And
make the
it does it at like
craziest
Yeah.
sounds.
4 a.m.
It sounds like stock audio of like a demon in a movie.
You should sample it for your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, the big one it's a barred owl, so it has a who. It doesn't
Nice.
sound like a like Satan or anything.
It's a different band altogether.
Yeah.
So far, you guys said that you had a run in with Gravity. What
Somewhat.
happened?
Well, we didn't have a run in with Gravity,
Our
but
singer.
our lovable and friendly singer who couldn't be here.
Right.
We were playing a show in Herndon.
McGee.
Actually, it was like maybe 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
That was the Jam Brew.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a jam.
Oh, yeah, we've heard of that.
Pre Jam Brew
Jam.
party.
Yeah.
Right.
At our buddy Jay's house, and so they had this big stage set up, and they use it every year. It had been put up against the wall for a whole year or whatever.
Oh,
and
wow.
no one used
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And it was
You can only do so much with a stage, right?
yeah, yeah. It doesn't
When
look
it's not
good the
being
rest of the
used.
year.
We
Yeah.
just stack it up and make it into a column.
Right.
So they had all the stage pulled out, and we put the amps up there, and it was a DIY type
Yeah.
project, So we were all jumping up on the stage and trying to make sure the amps weren't gonna topple over.
Oh, right. Because it's
And-
wiggly. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the process, Kyle's jumping and he's like, "Yeah, it seems I think we're good right here if we keep the amps." He's jumping and he goes right through the stage. and next thing I know, I just see Kyle, go right down.
Like a magic
Yeah.
trick.
The stage is like at his belly button.
He's like, ta-da! And now I'll make my lower half disappear.
Yeah, and then within 5 minutes, some guy rushes over with a piece of plywood and
Staples it down.
Yeah.
Well, our magic trick is we're going to have to make the show disappear. We've run out of time, guys. Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Thank you
awesome.
so much for coming out.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us.
We really, really appreciate it. Also, coming up this week, obviously, Sunday, August 5th, we've got Unsullied, our guest tonight at Union Stage in Washington, D.C. With Better Homes. But Saturday, August 4th, our friends Gianna Pianata at Gearhouse Brewing Company in Schaumburg, Pennsylvania, which sounds
Nailed
very
it.
fancy. Please like our posts. follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Also, don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Thanks to my summer co-host, engineer Adam, Kevin Emminger, McNally22, Justin Rogers, Figmental Records, Figmental Studios, and Chemical Records for all their contributions. Most of all, thanks to Unsullied for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.